Hi everyone, this is Khyati, co-founder and managing partner of Giant Migration. Today in this video, we are going to make you aware regarding the process of immigration. We have Mr. Nirbhay Kataria, CEO of Giant Migration, and Mr. Davinder Singh, RCIC lawyer, who came all the way from Canada to discuss all the important aspects of immigration.
Hi guys, this is Nirbhay Kataria, the CEO and founder of Giant Migration, and we are one of the largest immigration firm in the Middle East and India. Our company specializes in all the immigration programs related to Canada, Australia and New Zealand. If you're looking to relocate to Canada, I'm sitting right now with Mr. Davinder Singh, and I want to introduce you who he is and why his certification and the license of RCIC is very much important to all the aspirants who are actually looking forward to relocate to Canada.
Thanks Nirbhay. Hi guys, this is Davinder Singh, regulated Canadian immigration consultant. I'm glad to join you guys.
Thank you.
Here, and it has been a privilege so far.
Yeah, even we are very, feeling like an honorable thing that you are officially here in Giant Migration. And that is the whole agenda of today's topic, that the people have actually not seen any RCICs in person, haven't met them, how they look like, who they are, haven't even spoken to them, right? It's just like an air bubble just going on in the market that there is a Canadian consultant who actually represents your case. But how does it actually happen is just a myth, right? So we are actually going to, share across with everyone myths versus the reality. That's gonna be the whole the topic of the whole video, right? So yeah. Yeah, so this video, Mr. Davinder, will all about the truth, the reality behind immigration. It has nothing to do to promote just Giant Migration. It has just to do with how ethical work can actually happen when it comes to the Canadian visas, right? So I've listed down some questions which I want to read, and we want to know what are your views for it, right? So the thing is, like, what are some of the don'ts when it comes to the Canadian visas?
Sure. So if I may answer that, first thing you have to do is not to portray yourself what you're not, right?
Yeah.
So that being said, you should be knowing where you stand in terms of your experience. You should be knowing what your qualifications are. You should be aware of your age factor. You should be also aware of your language proficiency. So these four factors actually are the building block of the entire immigration process, no matter which stream you actually go through.
Yeah.
These are the four things which you have to consider no matter what. Then comes in your background, your travel history, things like that. But then that being said, that's a secondary, aspect of the entire process. But these four aspects are the major aspects, which actually will decide whether you are going to get some stream for yourself or you are going to be, having some deficiencies on your application.
Very rightly said, and that is actually should not just lead to the misrepresentation. You should actually tell the immigration department what you are, and that's what, if you will be honest with us as immigration consultants, the immigration is all, be honest with you. Now the second question, even I've been telling to all the clients who have been coming to meet me in all my branches that how and why the RCICs are really, really important to cater you guys in your immigration journey. So first, we would like to know, what you have done to become an RCIC, and how was your journey, how hard it is, right? And why is it really, really so important for one aspirant to choose the right agent who is certified by the ICCRC?
Yeah, that's a very good question, Nirbhay. To answer that, I'm going to be taking it one by one.
Yes.
It was you covered a lot of things, at once. But yeah, to start with, how you become an RCIC.
Yes.
So there is a comprehensive training that you go through. It's a full-time course, which now has become even more comprehensive from last year onwards. It's a 2-year full-time course. You have to take the course. You have to give your, you have to prove your competency. After you prove your competency, you go ahead, prove your language skills, and then you move ahead and apply for the license. I probably think it's the same even before and even now after the regulation has been changed. So you get about 4 attempts to take your license. If you make it, you make it. If you don't make it, you don't make it, right? But that being said, it's the immigration law. So the more you understand the law, the better you can actually represent your clients.
Very true.
Right? So there is a theoretical aspect and there is a practical aspect.
Absolutely right.
So when you talk about the theoretical aspect, you know that you have to give these tests, you have to pass these exams, you have to go for your license. And then comes the practical aspect, where you actually are in the law for the people and you're representing them, finding the right solution on the basis of the immigration law of Canada.
Wow.
Right? So the more experience you have on that, that's what really counts.
That's something which I was actually, trying to hear since a lot many days, I would say. But yeah, that's the satisfactory answer what one can get right now. So the second question, what I've just combined with this one only, that why a representation is really, really important, and why.
Yeah,
one
sure.
shouldn't-
So
Sorry.
again, as you rightly said, some things have to be done in a proper way.
True.
If you actually get into something without proper representation, no matter what you're doing, having half knowledge is as good as having no knowledge, right? So it's dangerous. So when you know that an expert is actually taking care of your application, you know that you're in the right hands.
True.
It gives you that trust factor.
Yeah.
It gives you, it makes the other person whom you're giving your application to responsible, because he's regulated by the Canadian government to actually, do justice to your application.
Very rightly said. And that's what, I've been coming across with a lot of scams which has been, posted online on various social media platforms. And I think we have together met a lot of people who were just wondering and who were not able to trust us even in spite of telling them that we are RCIC, right? And they are just worried about their money because they have past few experiences wherein they have paid a lot of agents a good amount of money which was not pretty well justified by them, and now they are actually very much scared to trust someone, right? So this is something what we want to know from you, that what's this fear factor and how it can be washed out from the people's mind. Because see, end of the day, there are good agents, there are bad agents, there are unethical agents, there are ethical agents as well. I'm not gonna say, as I said in the beginning, I'm not going to promote my own self in this video, but all the good agents, all the ethical companies who are practicing the immigration programs, I want to really, really appreciate them because they are always in the same game with us, right? So how we can wash out that mentality?
No, if you ask me personally, since the COVID, everything was down, there was no travel happening, there was a lot of misguidance being done, and it was even before the COVID,
Yes.
nothing to do with COVID as such. But then we sitting in Canada had that gap because we were not able to make those travels, we were not able to interact with the people. So that's the very basic reason, right? So when you don't know what is happening behind the scenes, you will never be able to get a full picture of what is going to happen with your application.
Very true.
So people believe hearsay. I didn't want to do that. That's the reason, immediately when things have relaxed a bit, I'm here. Thanks to you that we have been introduced hands-on to a few of the clients who have got their hands burned, for that matter.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't want to mention it over here, but then again, we have written testimonies of a few of the people who actually raised their concerns.
Exactly.
And it's actually a very sorry state. How they how the people are actually just using the name immigration just to put hands into somebody else's pocket and then not do justice for their money.
Pretty sad, yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much what I think, that they should be actually knowing that when they're being represented by somebody who is regulated by the Canadian government, that actually makes all the difference.
Yeah.
And not just on paper. I don't talk about representation just on paper, right? They have to be really represented.
Yeah, that's something which I want to bring it up here. There are a lot of companies. There are a lot of, I don't want to name them, but I've been knowing many. The representation is just on the papers. They do not talk to their RCICs. Their RCICs are not at all approachable. They don't have their contact details. So it doesn't make any sense for me just to represent an application just on the paper and charge them a good amount of money with zero justification, right? So that's what you have cleared, which is a very good point. And thank you so much for joining us here in this
As
video.
I said, it's a pleasure.
Yeah, in this video, and we want to say that Mr. Davinder officially represents Giant Migration. All the applications which are taken under Giant Migration is officially represented by Mr. Davinder Singh. He is an RCIC, lives in Canada. Where you live in Canada?
I live in Waterloo, which is about 100 kilometers from Toronto.
And it's been how many years you are in Canada?
It's almost going to be more than 5 years now.
Wow, so 5 years journey. I hope you would be the best person to tell the viewers here that how, because see, the process can be read online, but the only thing which the viewers are always worried about is, so how's the lifestyle over there? People are kind of worried that, hey, we make this much money here, why do we want to go to Canada and this and that, right? So I'm not here to convince them, because it's a personal choice that they want to go to India, they want to go to Pakistan, or they want to live here in the Middle East. But as a Canada, we are representing Canada right now.
Right.
So we want to listen and have a few glimpse on that particular chapter.
Sure. Not on the legal front, but on basically to answer your question.
Yeah.
Actually, I will say that I'm kind of that one-off guy who actually has its roots in Middle East and has moved from Middle East to Canada, right? And I know how people are very used to the relaxed tax structure here, and the amount of savings which they can make, and the kind of flexibility which they have in the system, and how do they actually get involved in the whole Canadian ecosystem, right? So to be very honest, it's going to be a learning curve. You're going to take a couple of years, maybe 3, to actually get involved and get engaged in the whole Canadian way of doing things. But long story short, you won't regret to make that decision, right? So if you are there, maybe 4 years, 5 years down the line, you will feel for yourself that you have made the right choice. As I said, Dubai is my hometown. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So that being said, my parents are still there. I still keep coming and going on and off. But that being said, you will, in the long term, no disrespect to Middle East.
Of course, that's one of the finest places I've ever seen.
Yes.
One of
and
the
then again,
most best place, yeah.
Having a permanent residency doesn't mean that you're kind of, bound to just stay there, and then you can't move around to different countries, and you can't come back to Middle East for that matter. It all depends on how motivated you are and what are your expectations, and how you want to actually utilize your status of a country which gives you access to almost 170 different countries.
Awesome.
Right.
And that's who doesn't want to travel? Who doesn't
sure.
want to be a global citizen? Who doesn't want to explore the whole world, right?
Right.
So yes, we will end this the whole video here itself. Otherwise, it's going to be really boring and kind of long and lengthy.
Yeah, we'll keep in touch,
Yes.
right? Probably we'll do further more sessions
Yes.
like these, just to.
I
keep
think this is
people-
like motivating me to actually start up a YouTube channel wherein we can talk about the realistic things.
Yeah, we take one topic at a time and then we
Yeah,
kind of discuss
yeah.
on that.
That's I think what the public and what the viewers are actually expecting, to let them know about the reality, because it's just an imaginary world for them. That's what's happening,
right.
in Canada, what's happening in the United States, or what's happening in Australia. So
Sure.
just walking them, hand in hand.
Again, we don't want it to be kind of a marketing thing for
Yes,
sure.
that's right.
As I was discussing with you probably last night or something, that what we intend to do is kind of do awareness sessions every month,
True.
so that more and more people can get a hands-on
Yes.
sort of exposure to what RCIC is all about, what Canadian immigration is all about, what new programs are out, and like how they can kind of make use of
Very right.
the various avenues which
Very
are
true.
available, right?
Very true. So guys, we'll end it up here, and I would always say that your vision is our mission, and that's why we say ourselves as Giant Migration, and we are located in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Doha, and India, and Canada, of course. So to book your appointments, you can always call our numbers given on the several websites, and then we can always see you one-on-one. And happy to serve you guys. Thank you very much and have a great one.
Thank you, guys.